Folks, let's go talk about Grambling. Grambling State University, they've launched an investigation into the university's women's volleyball team after the school's new head coach literally cut all of her players a few months into the job. The university released this statement about the investigation. Grambling State University has engaged the National Law Office of Lewis, Brisbois, Bisgaard, and Smith LLP to conduct an independent review of the allegations involving the women's volleyball program. The review will be led by counsel who are experienced in legal matters involving collegiate athletics and NCAA compliance. A final report will be presented to GSU President Rick Gallot. As appropriate, any findings will be shared publicly. Now, the review comes following the school's backlash after new coach Chelsey Lucas cut all scholarship players from the team, 14 players, soon after taking over. Those students have taken to social media, blasting her and the university. The athletic director says he stands behind her decision. This took place, this first became public, DeMario, about a month ago, and I said to folks, this is going to go national. I said, it's gotten some pickup. And the bottom line here is, if you're gonna cut, first of all, people have to understand something, that scholarships are not guaranteed. You know this. They're really called grant in aid, and that they can be pulled at any time by coaches. This obviously is a lot different when a new coach gets rid of all the players, all 14, and it has caused many of them to scramble, their families to scramble, how they're going to finish paying for school, how to graduate, and so it certainly has caused a lot of consternation down at Grambling, but especially among these students and their families.
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly how the rules work with a non-championship level or like a D1 AA where Grambling is. So I don't understand how the coach was able to do this.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the same as he's at Oklahoma, and that is
okay. Well, if it's the same.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's the same as Oklahoma, there should be some regulations there that. But I don't understand why the university needs to pay for an outside law firm to come in and do an investigation. I mean, the university hired the coach. Aren't they on the campus with the coach? I mean, are they alleging? Normally when these investigations are like my case when I'm suing the University of Iowa, when they're talking about, racial discrimination or sexism or sexual assault. So it's really unusual to me to see why they need to hire a law firm. That's a very big law firm, prestigious law firm. It's going to be very, very expensive. I mean, what are they going to tell them that the university president or the athletic department, the director, couldn't go to the coach directly and find out, why was this done? What are you trying to accomplish here? I mean, was it a scenario where she was saying, "Oh, you're cut, but you can reapply, you can retry out," and just trying to motivate the players? I mean, I just don't understand what's going on here, and I certainly don't understand why Grambling needs to hire an outside law firm to discuss this with their own coach. I don't get it.
The thing here, Mustafa, is if you look at this, certainly the coach doesn't make the decision just on her own. Obviously, had to consult with the athletic director, likely the president, to make the decision. And if Grambling went with that decision, to me, just come out publicly and walk people through, explain what happened, what led to this decision.
Right.
There should always be transparency in the process. When you leave, these gray areas, or folks just don't know what's going on, then they're going to fill in their own sort of narratives about what's up. I mean, I was an athlete in college, and usually for you to lose your scholarship, there usually has to be something significant that's going on. So the athletic director, the president, they had to have had, those conversations about, we're about to make a significant change. This wasn't about one athlete losing their scholarship. This is about the entire team. So for them to make that type of a move means a whole bunch of folks had to be a part of the decision making. And it's just really disrespectful also to these young athletes, because, if you would give them a heads up, they could have made, moves to another school. But when you do this, you really put them at a significant disadvantage. And then you don't even think about, the mental health aspects of the anxiety and depression that could come out of these types of things. Did I do something wrong as an athlete that made you make this choice? Or all these different questions that I'm sure are running through a whole bunch of people's minds, both the parents and those young athletes. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. And I hope that, there's real restitution for those young athletes who, have their whole lives in front of them. And these types of things could actually, create some barriers moving forward.
I remember when Steve Spurrier took over as head football coach at the University of South Carolina, Teresa, he came in and rescinded scholarship offers that were made to some players by the previous coach. And again, a lot of people don't really understand the reality of these programs. They don't understand that, again, that when someone awards you a scholarship, they say, oh, you get a 4-year scholarship. Not true. They literally are 1-year grant in aid. And so a coach can literally pull your so-called scholarship after a year if they feel as if you're not performing. A lot of people have learned about this in the last number of years as we've talked about what's been happening on these college campuses with sports, and this is an example. And so when you sign that letter of intent to attend, it doesn't say no matter what, you're going to get it. They can actually pull it for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, and I find that interesting, but we have to think about the students in this matter, those that have been, putting in the athletic time and patience and also preparation to get to that point. And so when a student receives a scholarship, it's not, just a welcoming of, I'm going to do less work. It's in preparation. I'm going to do more work and hopefully, be able to be on a collegiate level to do so. I also found it very interesting that this volleyball coach, Chelsey Lucas, said her decision was not to bring back some of the current student athletes on the team. But then it's like everybody's getting cut. So it's like you couldn't find, at least one student that would be able to maybe articulate the vision that you have. It almost seems like she did an episode of the movie, I guess a segment from the movie Coach Carter, but just a whole drastic way, without really any purpose in doing so. But you're right, it is their choice. The NCAA and its independent investigation is definitely going to help. Anytime there is an independent investigation, that means something's going on with the politics on the inside of the institution. And so I'm hoping that, we keep following this story because, again, we can't allow these students to lose out on the preparation of essentially being a student athlete as they have to do a work-life balance.
Again, so we're waiting to hear what happens there with this investigation. All right, folks, back to our Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?